YouTube, how we doing? Pass the prop back here again. NBA show today. I think it's 9 games, 9 games on the docket today for NBA. I'm joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. I mean, we had a little break on Friday. Obviously, March Madness, one of the best weekends of sports. So we knew no one was really going to care about like a 7:30 a.m. show or whatever about like NBA or so. It was a good little relaxing weekend. I really did not bet very seriously much at all. I was mostly just having fun, live betting college basketball and trying to snipe some props. So I had a good weekend. Can't really complain, but excited to get back into it. We obviously have a good NBA slate today. And then right around the corner, MLB's here already. It's knocking on the door. So I'm trying to get to reading, trying to catch up, trying to research as much as possible so that I'm ready for opening day. So a lot of fun stuff coming.
Yeah, no, MLB, man. We're ready to be. I'm ready to kind of get to that over the NBA. That's where I think we differ a little bit. Obviously, you're a little bit more in the NBA streets than I am myself. But yeah, I'll be. You guys know I'm knee deep in that every single year. I love that shit. 162 games. I don't know. It's not for everybody. I know it's a super long season, but it sucks because the Dodgers are just almost too loaded. And it's tough for casual fans to get into it with absolutely just loaded teams, but it is what it is. But yeah, ready to go. So yeah, let's get into it.
And I will say too, I've had a big mentality change with NBA this year where like these past couple of years, like the blowouts and a lot of that stuff has really bothered me. And I've really kind of recently like leaned into like the role players and just kind of the grimy stuff like that. And that's kind of what has me excited for MLB this year, which I've had the same concerns in the past with MLB of like, oh, it's too long, it's grueling, there's a lot of ups and downs, like it's not always fun, but sometimes you just got to embrace the shitty teams. You know, I'm like, maybe I'll be a White Sox specialist this year. You know, nobody's going to be betting those props, you know what I mean? So it'll be fun. You guys know I already have the Nationals props on deck as well. So just looking forward to it, excited. We got a lot of grimy role players in the NBA and, you know, hopefully we can add some of those in the MLB as well.
No, for sure. For sure. I think it'll be good. So let's get it rolling, dude. Let's get this rolling. We have a lot of back-to-backs. I know that was the first thing I had written down today. Was a lot of back-to-backs. So spread-wise, a lot of stuff to be kind of found out yet. Makes it a little bit tougher in the morning. But what game's sticking out to you, Stu, as we look at this slate?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one, obviously. I mean, I think like the late night Celtics Kings will probably be fun. But like you said, you know, there's a lot of interesting games. Celtics on the back-to-back here as well. Like it's, you know, there's going to be some weird injury news today. I think that's why when you look at the betting board, there's more limited options. Like you're going to see a lot of surprises. Someone in my Discord asked me about Raptors, Wizards, why Wizards are 1.5. And it's like half of the Raptors starting lineup could probably get ruled out in the next couple hours. Like that's very on the table. So it's just important to kind of, you know, be tuned into the news. But yeah, I think those late games with the Bucks and Suns and the Celtics and Kings are probably what I'm looking forward to the most.
Sounds good. Yeah. No, obviously, you got to just kind of understand a lot of these teams, you know, are kind of eliminated already too. So it's just like kind of finding those teams that have the want here. I guess for me, I think it'd have to be my Bucks playing tonight. Obviously, they need wins, need to stack up. But yeah, I think that Bucks game, and you guys know how much I've been betting KD as of late. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Not only just my Bucks playing, but being able to, you know, get in a spot where I can probably bet on both sides a little bit today.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, he's been your dude. I mean, KD's been cooking for the show recently, so I don't see why that would stop in a matchup against the Bucks as well. They got those bigs. They're gonna play that drop. I mean, he's gonna have that mid-range all day long, and there's nobody else you'd want taking a mid-range shot in the NBA than Kevin Durant. So yeah, that'll definitely be a good one. I just hate the Suns, man. They're so annoying. Like I'll never bet on the Suns again, and I probably won't bet against them just because like they can mess with you. Like they can randomly play to their real level, and then they can randomly play like one of the worst teams in the league, and it's your guess on who's going to show up that day.
Yeah, no, for sure. It makes it tough. I know Dame is not playing. I'm seeing like 9 Pelicans out now today. I just got the Zion news. What is it? Zion, CJ McCollum, and I'm assuming if they're giving me a midday questionable tag on Misi, that they are definitely out. So
yeah, I was gonna play him too. That's a bummer. That is a good matchup. That's gonna be an awful game now. Look out for Jose Alvarado. He should be in a good spot to rack up some stats though.
yeah, no, I think Alvarado and dude, I've been playing that Carco, bro. I've been playing him a lot in DFS, and he's just fantastic per minute. So, another guy who's actually been really fucking good has been fucking Kelly Olynyk, dude. The dude has been fantastic for DFS. I'm sure a lot of people have been playing him if they have been playing. He's been incredible, dude. The dude just he's reliable, gets 25 to 28 minutes, and he's really involved when he's out there. So.
Also, like a sneaky great like playmaker for a big.
Yeah, he's got a lot of assist upside, a lot of equity on that side. So
yeah, I think
he's a rebound assist guy when I grab him exclusively. But yeah, I think we can get this rolling, Stu. I know this will probably be a little bit quicker since we don't have a lot of news yet. It's going to probably be in about 2 hours. We're going to get just hammered with a ton of news. Because I think they can wait a little bit longer on back-to-backs. So that just makes it absolutely brutal for us as a team that wants to, grab it as we can. So I'll kick it over to you. I know you're going back to your bread and butter here.
Yeah, I'm going to the Wizards. I had a lot of thought about this Wizards-Raptors game, which is a kind of funny sentence to say out loud. But yeah, I'm taking under 10.5 points, minus 115. It's over on 365, MGM, and Caesars. It's down to 9.5 in a lot of spots. I would play the 9.5 plus money, or I'd pivot to 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists, which is around my biggest question was kind of going between points, rebounds, and assists and points. But I do think the biggest edge is under on his points. I do like Bub Carrington. I think he's a solid, okay rookie. But the problem is, one, Washington is playing so many guys right now. So their rotations are so deep. But when you actually look at this game, they're not on a back-to-back. Chris Middleton will probably play. He's not going to play a lot, but that's probably 20 minutes. Marcus Smart is going to play. That's probably 24 minutes. They've added AJ Johnson into the rotation, playing about 28 minutes per game, and he's actually been looking very good. Colby Jones, coming over from the Kings, has been playing between 15 to 24 minutes a night, depending on the injuries. These are all guards. They have a lot of guys, and that's not even counting Jordan Poole, who, for whatever reason, is still playing. They benched Jordan Poole 2-3 games in a row. Then suddenly a couple teams got fined $100K, and suddenly Jordan Poole's right back in that lineup. So I think that tells you they were trying to get a little tanking going. But now Poole is playing heavy minutes. My default would be to play under on Poole points, just because I don't think he'll play the fourth quarter. But if he's going to chuck up 18 shots in the first 3 quarters, that's going to fuck you. That really hurts your chances. And that's exactly what he's been doing in these games. So while I do want to be a Jordan Poole under supporter, he's making it pretty tough for you just with the amount of volume. But the point is, we got so many different guards, whether it's a guy like Marcus Smart that you maybe want to trade in the offseason, Chris Middleton, just trying to get him some solid minutes. Or even some of these younger guys, the Johnsons, the Jones, that you just want to see them play more. Bub is obviously in that category, but I think when you look at this, is being priced that he's going to play 35 minutes, which is what he played last game. But once again, that was without Middleton. That was with some injuries. I think he's probably slotted in for 28 minutes. And when you go back and look at his last 5 games, that's more where he's actually playing. It's just these certain games, Washington rules out 3 random guys every single game. So it makes tracking the injury report kind of tough. But this does profile as one of the few games that they're actually going to be starting everybody and playing at least a solid amount of minutes. And what that means is it's going to move Bub Carrington to the bench. Off of the bench, he's only averaging 7 points per game this season. And when you look at the Raptors, they've actually played multiple games against the Raptors, one against the starting lineup, one against the full-on tank squad, and the guy didn't go over 7 points in either of those, including playing 30 minutes in one of those games. So Bub has shown us like a very wide range of outcomes against a lot of different teams. He's really struggled to score 10 points in any of these games whatsoever. If you go through his game log, it's a lot of inefficient shooting. And that's because at the end of the day, Bub Carrington sneakily has like a fantastic mid-range game. Like that's his whole game. If you watch him as like a prospect or anything, fantastic mid-range game. That's not like very suitable for the modern NBA right now. Like teams, especially when they're young and you're not playing heavy minutes and you're not like a pick and roll ball handler leading a team, they don't really want to see you like taking all these dribbles, taking these mid-range shot. Obviously, if you're familiar with advanced analytics, that's kind of the shot of, you know, the old days of the past. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to make Carrington a more comfortable three-point shooter. They're trying to get him more adjusted to that role as a role player. And it's just not his game. So he's not great at it right now. He's not a very efficient shooter. So I think there's a lot of different ways you can go under. I think the minutes are going to be less than the books are projecting. He's shown multiple bad performances against the starters and the bench unit for the Raptors. And I don't mind if we see some guys getting rolled out. I like a lot of those dogs the Raptors have on the bench in that guard room, especially. So I don't really have any problems right here. I think there's a lot of different ways we can get to Bub unders, and I think 10.5 points is just a little too high. I would honestly have this at like 8.5 and like minus 120 to the under. Like I don't know where this confidence is besides the general like narrative storyline that, oh, young guys are going to play more. It's the end of the year. And I generally do agree with that. We talk about it all the time. But as someone that's just really familiar with the Wizards, I just think they're over projecting his minutes a little bit. And I don't think even you can count on efficiency, even if he does play heavy minutes. So we're taking Bub under 10.5 points against a very ugly Raptors squad in a tankathon game tonight.
Yeah, no, I will definitely turn things over to you on the Wizard side. I know there's probably not that many people watching it, so you're going to probably be one of the sharper guys on these numbers. So, yeah, I remember watching Poole play a quarter and then just sit. So,
that was just like a
weird spot. Weird. I know I had a decent lineup going, and I played Champagny. He decided to only play like 24 minutes. And they just been switching up that starting lineup, which has been weird. But yeah, I guess
it was. And one of them, Champagny, was literally a coach's didn't play at all, didn't even touch the floor. Like the rotations are so like random that it's very hard to trust these guys. But I think that's why, if anything, you probably want to be, probably on the underside, not the over. I think Champagny unders are probably pretty live today as well. But yeah, trusting Jordan Poole for an over at this time of the year, like please don't do that. Anyone out there? That's my PSA.
Well, I wish I would have got that a couple weeks ago when Champagny decides to start and only play 20 minutes. Yeah. It's brutal.
Yep. And I love that guy too off the bench. Earlier in the year, he was posting like 8, 9 rebounds per game. And then recently it's just been all over the place.
Well, it's not even that. Like what really got me was how he's just been stacking up stocks too. He's just been really good in that department. And it just pushes those numbers up so fast, right? When you're getting 2 points for each one of those. He had like 3 or 4 in multiple games over the last couple of weeks as well, which is, again, just kills you because he's a very good per minute guy. But yeah, that's not the guy you're betting. You are betting on Bub Carrington under 10.5 points. Just need to get my story out there just so I'm sure other people have been hurt by the Wizards if you're betting overs. Just know that you are not the only one. You are in here with us. So what I'm going to be rolling with today, I'm going to be rolling with Nikola Vucevic over 29.5 points, rebounds, assists, minus 125 today. I really like this spot, obviously, with I believe they are off a back-to-back, I believe. But they're playing Denver tonight. And obviously Vucevic has been a machine since coming back, man. He was out for a while. I believe it was 3 weeks he was out. So obviously everybody else kind of saw their roles bump up. But Vucevic has come in. And after the first 2 games, which was the Brooklyn Nets game and the Pacers game earlier this month, he's been getting back to those good amount of minutes, right? 29, 31, 32. I thought they'd be tanking and just saying, screw it, let's not play our guys. But Giddey's getting a ton of run. Kobe White's getting a ton of run. Vucevic getting 31 to 32 minutes. And if I don't have to worry about Nikola Jokic down there, why am I worried about this spot, right? If I'm playing, you could see Nikola Jokic playing the high post against DeAndre Jordan in a sink the entire game. If I'm getting free three-pointers, we see what Vucevic does to the Bucks. The Bucks do the same shit. Just sit there, get centers in the paint, and don't move them. Now you're going to have a guy like DeAndre Jordan who it doesn't matter. Like, they should be able to absolutely eviscerate DeAndre Jordan underneath. I'm not worried about any sort of defense coming from the Russell Westbrook side. He's horrendous defensively still. Then you go to other guys that are missing, like we've been seeing Aaron Gordon in and out of the lineup. Like, all the guys that I care about defensively, I know Christian Braun has been in and out of the lineup as well. So it's like all the guys I actually think play defense on this team are all kind of in and out. Like Michael Porter. Fuck yeah, put Michael Porter on Vucevic. Just might drop 40 tonight. Watching Michael Porter play defense is laughable. Absolutely laughable. So looking at Vucevic's numbers over the last couple games, right? They absolutely blew out. Actually, no, back-to-back. They blew out the Lakers. For some reason, I thought that was last night. But they beat the Lakers by 31. I think I saw it on ESPN this morning, so that might be why I thought it was last night. But 12, and 5 in 26 minutes. Come back and in the back-to-back against the Suns and the Kings, averaging 16 shot attempts, right? I mean, we'd love to see that, averaging 10 rebounds a game in those spots. If you want to look at rebounding chances and stuff like that, Nikola Vucevic is averaging 18 rebounding chances over his last 4 games. I use those last 4 games because those are the ones where he's actually been back to a normal allotment of minutes outside of the 23-24, which are his first 2 games back. So 18 rebounding chances. You have a guy like DeAndre Jordan who will not be moving from the paint. So on that end, we should be seeing just a ton of rebounds. DeAndre Jordan's actually, I think his last game had 19 rebounding chances, and he was 4 feet from the rim. So we love to see that. And actually, Vucevic over his last 4 has actually been closer to the rim at 3.6, one of the lowest numbers I've ever seen. Obviously, extremely low sample size. So don't crush me for that. But over the last, believe it is, I've been looking at, the last 4 games, using Vucevic as our spot there because he's finally been playing those minutes. Giddey's the number 1 guy. Giddey is the number 1 guy in potential assists. Vucevic in the last 2 has had 8 potential assists, even in that, with Giddey being the number 1 distributor of the basketball in those games. So he still has the opportunity to grab assists, even though Giddey's been doing his thing. But yeah, I mean, big shouts to Vucevic actually coming back and wanting to play. We love to see that. And also Giddey's been a fucking monster, man. It's been really cool to see him just go over there and just absolutely crush in these games.
Yeah, no, I really like this spot, actually. I didn't really look at this game much before you brought it up, like right before we got on the show, but I'm definitely going to tail this pretty big because if you told me in this modern year of 2025 that DeAndre Jordan was going to play 38 minutes in a basketball game, I probably would have bet my net worth that you were lying. One, like that you're smoked a little bit too much last night or something and had a crazy dream, because if you just look at the guy, he looks like he's been retired for 4 years. Like, it's actually crazy. And when you look at what then happened last game, what Sengun put a triple-double up on him, right? I mean, that was the last matchup they had right there. He went like 17, 12, and 10. And I think that's why you want the PRAs. You probably see some doubles. Like, I bet Peyton Watson probably guards him for some of the games. He's kind of undersized, but he's a very good forward, very good defensively. Zeke Naji, like some of the bench guys, is probably what it's going to be. So you probably do get some extra double teams, some extra assist off of that, just because I can't imagine he plays 38 minutes again. Like, I know you got to match size for size, but if you really get that much DeAndre Jordan, I want like any Vucevic ladder possible, because that's just an insane matchup. And the Bulls are like a solid offensive team, but like you said, Giddey's a big distributor. Like they don't have like a pure, like Kobe White gives you very good scoring, obviously, but a do-it-yourself kind of like big, like Vucevic. This just seems like a prime matchup for him. That, I mean, he's probably going to be able to pull up from mid-range whenever he wants. He can post up DeAndre Jordan, and he'll probably have a couple threes as well. So definitely a big fan of this spot.
Yeah, I just always think like when you have a team like the Bucks, because obviously I watch a lot of Bucks games, and when you see teams that play the exact same way, or they're going to have to, because DeAndre Jordan is not going out to the 3-point line, bro. I don't care if Vucevic makes 5 in a row. He is not going out to the 3-point line. That guy can't move. And those are the games that Vucevic has absolutely crushed the Bucks, dude. The only game that he didn't do that well, guess what? Brook Lopez wasn't playing, and Bobby Portis actually goes out there. That was the only game he didn't go for like 25 points on. So definitely a spot here that I like. And, yeah, shout out Giddey. I know our guy Thomas in here has been talking about him quite a bit lately. So, yeah, it's tough to get to some of those numbers because they are crazy up there.
Yeah, and like, yeah, even a guy like Giddey who's like, he's been a triple-double machine when he's got big minutes in the past, but it's still kind of tough to get to those high numbers. But I mean, hey, shout out to them. They're looking good with this new lineup. I like Herder when he gets some heavy volume as well, and they've got the young guys as well. So Bulls are kind of, for a team that like started the year in the dumps, like I would say most people would say, if you look at the like franchises that are in the worst spots, they're probably in one of the worst spots. But like, it's been a good end to the year. You know, get a little bit of positivity moving forward, which I know those guys need.
Yeah, you kind of want to see that when, the struggles have been real over there in Chicago. They kind of became the laughingstock for a little while. But quick flip. You like to see them putting up some numbers here at the end of the season. And obviously, I think a lot of people would want to play over there too, right? Playing in Chicago, it's a fun place. And obviously, you got shooters. Now they just kind of need a couple other pieces, right? They got to get a couple more pieces, but could be a fun spot for a rookie to land. And even everybody's kind of hyped up for Matas there, but I think that could be a good spot for, 3 to 5, right? Pick in the draft. Like, I would love to watch Edgecombe play with them, dude. That dude is fucking fun to watch. I bet him a couple times already in the tournament. Obviously they lost to Duke, but he's a really explosive dude. I think that would be like a good slasher type of guy that would work really well in this.
Especially with multiple ball handlers already. I agree. That's definitely a good fit. I think you actually nailed it. That's a great spot if you're a rookie. Like you said, Matas showing development. Even sneakily Patrick Williams since coming back from injury.
When he plays, it sucked. That injury kind of killed him.
Yeah, but he's actually started making shots this last week. I've never seen the guy do it. Before it was all defense and rebounding. So yeah, it'll be interesting. They'll be a solid team going forward to monitor, and hopefully they keep the upward trajectory. Basketball is more fun when Chicago is good. You know, they're such a historic team that, and they're in the East, so people probably want to go there and not mess with the West as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before we get to long shots, let's do a quick recap and get to a couple questions here, Stu. I know our guy Thomas is in there. We got 30 of you guys in here live. If you got questions, drop them in the chat. We appreciate you. Hit that like button as well. We appreciate all the support and you guys joining us on your Monday afternoon. I know it's probably one of those, like, feels like a hangover day after March Madness all weekend. I was up till, what are we doing making me stay up till 11:30 to watch a fucking game, dude? Like, god damn, that was late. Like, we had all day. You had 2 games up until 3:30, bro. Can't throw me a bone there, man. I had to get up early and shit. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, we could have been done here after that Michigan State game, man. So, but yeah, let's get a quick recap.
And I'll say I was at brunch like all morning, all day. So I was very thankful that they actually scheduled it so weirdly like that, because then I only missed like the one game early and then the Duke blowout. So I know it fucked a lot of people, but hey, I like staying up late. So shout out to the schedule guys. They blessed me. But yeah, for the prop today, we're going with Bub Carrington under 10.5 points, -115. I do like 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And if it does move to 9.5, I'd play that for plus money as well.
Awesome. I'll be playing Nikola Vucevic over 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -125. And yeah, let's get to a couple questions here. I'm going to have to move a little bit quicker. Edwards over 16.5 points. Do you want to do that? I know that game has kind of gone down with all of the injury news. Is there a way that you're going to be betting on Justin Edwards in this game?
No, not at 16.5 points. I'm trying to pull up the game right now to see if we have updated numbers. Yep, he's still there. No, I would not do that. That game is a shit show. It's a full-on, like, tankathon from both sides. But, yeah, no, I can't play a line for Justin Edwards that high. I really can't. I guess I assume Lonnie Walker. I bet on him the other day. That was, like, the only NBA bet I made. And I see an underdog notification, not even watching, college basketball. It goes, Lonnie Walker not coming back second half, in parentheses, headache. What the fuck? What does that mean? It was the headache mid-game? Like, that was crazy. So I assume maybe he's out. Maybe that's why it's so high. They just have no scoring whatsoever. But I mean, maybe like Ricky Council off the bench. It's too high. The number's just too high. I don't know how else to say it. Like, Justin Edwards may shoot 14 times a game. I still don't want to fucking bet on him. But I mean, I see what you mean. It's a shit game. He's probably going to play a lot of minutes, but they did warn earlier in the year that he might be one of the guys that does see reduced minutes down the stretch. So just something to keep in mind. I mean, we'll see what happens, but yeah, probably not going to get there myself. If I did anything, it would be like an alt line at like 12, 13, 14, just if the volume's going to be there and you don't think he's going to be efficient, maybe like an alt line. But yeah, not the biggest fan of playing shitty players that high of a number, just in general.
Yeah, volume. If you're looking for volume, I mean, sure. I just feel like there's a lot better spots on the slate than me wanting to trust Justin Edwards to do something positive. It's not like they're not giving Grimes 38 minutes, bro. That's the tough part is Grimes, every time he touches the ball, is super involved.
Oh, yeah.
If they would pull back some fucking minutes, then sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. He's still going full. I love it, by the way. The whole team's in tank mode, and Grimes is like, fuck it. I'm playing the best ball of my life. Like, I'm going to keep
making himself so much fucking money.
Right? Oh, yeah. It's great.
So much money. But that's the funny part is that's why I don't know why this is in my head when I think of what Grimes is doing right now. But it reminds me of the Brian Scalabrine shit where it's like, I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me. And then Grimes is literally just a spot-up fucking shooter. And then I saw Niang start talking shit. I'm like, dude, who the fuck are you to talk shit? You literally, he's actually putting up these numbers. It don't matter, man, if your guys are hurt. Like, I don't think Niang could do that if everybody on their fucking team was blind. I don't think he could do it. So, Shout out to Grimes for putting up some big boy numbers. I think he's the number one fantasy player over the last 2 weeks, per game, because I think that there's been a couple blowouts for SGA. We've had no Jokic. We've had all these other dudes out. He's been like 48 to 50 a game. Dude's like almost 10K on DK, which is absurd for a guy that's mid 4Ks usually.
No, I've been betting his defense too. He's putting up at least like a stock or two a game. Like, it's just all around. It's good stuff. And while we were talking about it, I will say, we mentioned this earlier, Kelly Olynyk, 11.5 rebounds and assists tonight in that game. I think if I'm betting anything, because I was just trying to give an alternative in that game, I think that looks like a spot I'll probably end up betting. Because, I mean, so many guys have been ruled out. Like, there's going to be plenty of opportunity. Bruce Brown, I saw, got ruled out as well. Like, yeah, give me Kelly O in that game instead of Justin Edwards to make a bunch of shots.
For sure. Good look, for sure. Let's get to some long shots, too. I know you got one for us coming up right away.
Yes. Yeah, this line caught me way off guard. We got KCP 3 threes plus 340 over on FanDuel. It's like in the 300 range on other books. I probably would have had this like 280. I like 1.5 threes. I like KCP points too. For me, it kind of comes down. Cole Anthony is questionable. He did not attend shoot around. That's normally a sign that he will not be playing. When you look at this Orlando team, they've got two very good players, Franz and Paulo, right? Very, very good players. Both rim-oriented scorers, like to be in the paint. When you look at what the Lakers have been doing since they've made these trade deadline acquisitions, they've been stuffing the paint and allowing more outside shots. They've allowed the 4th most points to shooting guards over the last week, and they've allowed the 10th most spot-up 3 opportunities. That's obviously going to be very good for KCP, who does take a lot of his shots from the 3-point line. He also gets to play his former team. I mean, he had his career highlights with the Lakers, obviously the best moments of his life winning that ring. He was a big part of those squads back in the day. So you get a little bit of a narrative, a team he likes to play against, he cares about. You get a good matchup in a team that's allowing plenty of spot-up opportunities and struggling against shooting guards. And then guess what? There's nobody on this team in the guard room. Like, it's awful. It's actually awful. When you look at the Magic, Anthony Black, I was a fan of Anthony Black as a prospect. Probably the worst possible landing spot for a guy that all he did in college was run out in transition, make some nice layups and some crazy passes. You brought him to the slowest team in the league that does no like the guy didn't have a 3-point jumper. Like, it was about, like, I don't know. I don't get Anthony Black on this team. I trade him to the Wizards. I'd much rather see him over there. But he's only set at 7.5 points for a reason. Freaking Corey Joseph is starting on a team that people were betting on to, like, win the NBA Finals before the season. Like, this is a team people had high expectations for. Their guard room is so bad that it's Corey Joseph and Anthony Black right now that are going to be playing most of the guard minutes. So there's going to be opportunity. And KCP is a veteran role player that knows his role. He takes his 5-6 threes a game. You know, he's not greedy. He doesn't ask for the ball too much. But I've watched it with the Wizards. I've watched it with Denver. When there's like 4 guys rolled out, when there's injuries, when someone needs to step up, KCP is a guy that's willing to take extra shots. And I think we're going to see some increased volume. And I think we're going to see the Lakers spend every second of this game trying to stuff the paint, make life difficult for Paulo, make life difficult for Franz. And what's that going to lead to? Open shots on the perimeter. Who can take advantage of that? Probably nobody. If you've watched the Magic, they can't shoot, but KCP would be the guy of the group. So I took KCP 3 threes plus 340. I think his threes ladder is very live today. There's one more sleeper I will mention too. Wendell Carter is plus 350 for 2 threes. I think that's a good spot as well. But
that's my long shot right there, bro.
That's interesting. Okay, I like Wendell. Okay, well, I'll let you talk then. Hell,
yeah, dude, I was loving that, bro. I was like, are you gonna really give me the double-double too? Because I really like his double-double today. And we didn't talk about this. This is why this is funny to see, because I was like, are we both gonna long shot in the fucking probably the worst game of the day with a 210 total? We're both fucking long shotting in a 210 total. But how do I get away from Wendell Carter, bro? Like, this dude's playing heavy minutes. I was surprised to see that this guy's running 29, 30 minutes in these games. My issue is the dude just cannot stay out of foul trouble to save his fucking life. Yep. And looking at the bigs on the Lakers, who's going to get me in foul trouble? Jackson Hayes, bro? Right? Like, that's what you have to worry about is he's had 5 fouls, I believe, in 4 games this month. He's averaging 4 fouls per game right now. But when he doesn't, 29 minutes, 35 minutes against the Cavs, against probably one of the best interior defenses, 16 and 14, right? He had 5 fouls against the Timberwolves. He had and one of these other games that he was going up to against the Bucks. Again, 4 fouls. It just really gets him out of that rhythm. But we've seen him have double-digit rebounds in 3 of the games this month, even with those foul troubles. I just don't think there's any issue if he stays out of foul trouble. He's playing 29 to 30 minutes. I'm not worried about anybody on this Lakers side. And Wendell Carter's going to be, underneath in the paint if I'm going to be watching Jackson Hayes. He ain't pulling up for 3. Alex Len might think he can shoot 3s. I doubt it will be very effective. I'm sure LeBron will tell him to go sit his ass back down if he does start shooting those. But a lot of outside shots, I'm assuming, from this Lakers team today because Orlando's obviously elite in the paint. So there's a little bit more opportunity for him to play, the 29, 30 minutes. And I like what you talked about there with the 3s because I think just as much it's him getting to 10 points as it is for him to get the 10 points. Because I feel like just looking at his numbers right now, to grab Wendell Carter, 9 rebounds is plus 105. Then you go over to his points, it's right there as well, with 10 points being minus 120. So it's like really close. But I feel like instead of me trying to grab the plus money on the 9 rebounds at 105 there, I think the double-double is definitely a good payout for just trying to get one or more of each.
Yeah, no, that's really funny. Yeah, we obviously did not talk about that we'd be in the same game, but I was just getting the fact that Carter was like the other guy I liked because similar thought process. I did say the 3s market was the one I took 2 threes at plus 375, which I thought was kind of crazy. Even 1 3 is minus 130. And I had the same reaction you did of like Carter's playing a lot of minutes right now. And like the Lakers are not a threat to get you in foul trouble at all. Like maybe he gets some like LeBron possessions, I guess, here and there, gets caught up in it, whatever. But it's just clearly not like a big versus big, like I'm going to back you down and bully you kind of matchup, which is really what gets him in trouble. And Carter's just so inconsistent in general that he's the kind of guy that I want to play for long shots and not like points.
Straight bets.
Yeah, because I was looking at points. Because I'm like, someone's got to have an offensive mindset if all these guys are out. And if we're just locking down and focusing on Paolo, like they can't shoot 40 times each. Someone's got to pick up the slack. Even if both those guys drop 40 points in the craziest game of the year, that's 80. We still got to get over to 100. We got to get to 120. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things someone else has to step up. And I think Carter does make a lot of logical sense as someone that could have a good scoring game. The only thing you hate is they just got so many players on this team that could just randomly butt in. If like Goga hits like a 3 or 2, maybe he steals some extra minutes. That's the kind of pain in the ass part that makes me just want to go to the long shot. So already locked in the threes. I'm going to join you on the double-double.
Yeah, dude. I think I like what you're talking about there. I don't know where plus 474 is.
I think he's talking about Bet Rivers, if I had to guess.
Oh, man. Shout out Rivers, bro.
Weird boys.
I'm going to have to go down to the book to actually get that, though. Damn.
But looking at my odds screen, I don't see anything better than that, except like no vig, I guess, if you're a exchange.
I don't know what that is.
It's a new exchange. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I unless this guy has a better book on hand right here.
Damn. Fuck yeah. Go Bet Rivers. Love that shit, dude. Grab that, William. I love that. Damn, that's a good enough number where I might have to go actually play it there versus on my online book. God damn, that's a crazy number.
Rivers loves doing that. They
love great long shots. I'm not going to lie, dude. Like,
it's because they're the worst book in the world. That's why they're allowed to do that. Because if you win, you're in a casino, so it's different. If you win on their online sports book, they're just like, get out, like immediately. Like no even like thought of like maybe this guy will lose it back or he's playing long shots, not getting CLV. They're just like, get out. So I don't know.
You can. I just don't put my player's card in if I'm going well. I just don't put my player's card in and then just put a different hat on or something.
It's the benefit of in-person betting, man, versus online. Where we're in an age where the data is so like stacked against you. Where if you can still get to like in person and then kiosks, especially, they've been getting worse in a lot of places. But depending on what your kiosk max are, you can react to injury news in person very well. There's a lot of good stuff that can be done. It's just if you have the time and ability to kind of take advantage of it, which obviously is hard.
It is very hard to do. But, hey, shout out Bet Rivers for giving us some big numbers. Shout out to us for betting on the fucking Magic for long shots. God damn, dude.
Oh, boy.
Nasty, dude. I think this is the lowest total by a significant amount of margin. Like 214. I don't think there's another total under 2 Mavericks Nets, but. Oh, that's just nasty. There's like 5 players on that team, so
man, every time
they're actually pretty high. I saw Najee Marshall's shit was crazy. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one, but that's one I can't even begin to look at until we get like an hour before lock, and we have like starting. I saw AD is questionable to return now, which is interesting. I mean, that could shake things up. Oh, it did make me remind one thing in my write-up from earlier about Bub Carrington. Sadiq Bey could sneakily make his season debut today. He played in the Capital City Go-Go and he was called up. So Sadiq Bey, for the first time all year, he's been rehabbing an injury, could actually steal even more minutes from the Wizards guard rotation. I haven't heard a single person mention that. It's not a guarantee. It's only something that's just circling in the Wizards circles right now. But he was recalled from the G League for the first time all year. So want to throw that in there. Him and AD make the return same day.
Hey, all I'm saying, Stu, you saw my boy Kevin Knox getting called back up to the Warriors, bro. He signed for the rest of the year. He signed for the rest of the year, bro. I'm like, let's go. I just had to get my one in there just because I remember I had him last year. I'm like, he's gonna have a game this year, and he had a 20-pointer at some point. I think he went like 6 for 8 from 3. Hey, I saw if Curry has a pelvic injury today, maybe it's Kevin Knox special.
Probably not.
Draymond ain't shooting more than 3 times in a game, bro, unless he gets in a fight with somebody.
They've got too many random guys now. That Guy Santos guy. That's
I know. I do like him too.
I bet on him. Like when we get lines, when he's like 3.5 boards, just take the over. That guy's great. Big fan.
All right, Sue. Anything else for the people here before we head out? We got 2 long shots, 2 straight bets. Feeling pretty good about our spots here.
Yeah, no, I mean, excited to get back into it. Obviously, a fun March Madness weekend. I'm sure I'll probably have some more player props for the tournament whenever we get closer, just because I'm invested now. You know, I'm already in it, so why not? But yeah, hoping to keep the NBA momentum strong. I really like our spots today. I like our long shots. Hopefully we can keep it going. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, all that, and follow me over on Instagram, Monotone Betting. I'm posting more stuff on Instagram. People were liking the March Madness stuff. I appreciate that. So hell yeah, follow over there.
Yeah, I will be. I'm not sure for Wednesday. Just because I might be doing MLB. I'm not. We'll be on here Wednesday. That's not what I mean. I'm saying I might either do MLB or college basketball because obviously I'm a little bit more invested in both of those than I am in the NBA streets. But yeah, it should be interesting. Baseball starts Thursday, man. DraftKings gave me a couple free tickets for the first day, opening day special. So we'll see how we do. It should be a fun season. It's a long season, but we like the grind at this point. It's year 3 already for MLB coming up, so I'm excited. So have a good one, guys. Best of luck on all your bets tonight. Lots of action if you want some. But yeah, good luck, and we'll catch you on Wednesday. Have a good one, guys.